minute, fella. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Heego, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band. This is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, the Wolverine, along with my super friends, Heego.
Greetings.
And C-Lab for forever.
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on, man.
Welcome to the podcast.
I don't either.
I told you I'm alone, so I don't have to be quiet. Sorry. Welcome to the podcast, folks. This week we are talking about. This week we're going on a journey back in time to 1981 and beyond for the classic John Borman film Excalibur.com.
.org.
The glistening sequel to Zardoz.
.net.
Let's start the show. I know, Johnny B, dude, dialed us in some Zardoz, dialed us in this movie. I'm stoked.
Well, this is way better than Zardoz, I'll tell you that much.
Sure, yeah, totally. It definitely had more money behind it, that's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. That's true, actually. That's fair, because I was not a fan of Zardoz, but you give the same director at the time of Zardoz 5 times the budget, he probably could have done a lot more with it. So yeah, that's a good point.
Just based on the costuming alone, you could make that evaluation.
That's true. But to Kev's money point, but I enjoyed it. I've never seen this movie before.
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty good. And in the midst of watching it, not in the dragon mist, in the midst.
Ooh.
I realized how much I had forgotten how much I enjoyed the Arthurian kind of myth stuff from the kind of Sword and Stone cartoon days and all that, Holy Grail, Monty Python.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of nice to revisit that mythology.
Nice. Let's take it over to Heego.
Excellent. Yeah. Good point with the Arthurian mythology. This is definitely, probably besides Monty Python's Holy Grail, my favorite portrayal of that particular story. Carries some pretty serious sentimental weight for me. This one was, for whatever reason, a big one in like, I saw this really young, but it was like we recorded an edited version for ordinary TV that kind of took out some of the more racy stuff. And it ended up being something that we just watched a lot. I was also kind of like medieval history, mythology sort of, nerd as a kid. So it really appealed to me. Yeah, so it's always been there. And I haven't watched it in quite some time. And on this watching, I definitely noticed like it's sort of a movie of contradictions. It's got a lot of, depending on like how you're focusing on it, it either looks like a student film or it's like one of the most beautifully shot films ever.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it may just depend on the scene.
Well said, dude. Yes.
The acting is both at times, like if you look at it a certain way, it's like way over the top, but also really perfect, The scope of the story is like the fact that he didn't try to like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you weren't thinking in terms of breaking things up into trilogies or whatever back in the day, but he crammed a lot of shit into this movie, and it definitely kind of loses its way, and it's convoluted. Yet also, it fucking shoehorns it in there and manages to successfully tell the story. So, in that respect, it's a success. There's some like great visual effects and stuff. There's a scene where Lancelot is impaled by his own sword, and like the sword going through his body looks totally realistic, and he pulls it out, and that looks realistic. The only thing that doesn't look realistic is the little bit of ketchup left over, like after he pulls it out.
That's a good point, man. You're absolutely right about that. It did look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a very interesting film. It's a little slow paced. It's, there's another one for you. It's like somehow both action packed and extremely slow paced.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just got all these, sort of contradictions going on. But
idiosyncrasies, yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's for everyone, but it's definitely for me. Maybe mostly because of the nostalgia. I'm not sure, but there you go.
Yeah, we couldn't remember what it was before you came on, Chad. But it's definitely, if you're part of the, what is it, the boob and spear set? What did you call it?
Tits and Spears.
Tits and Spears.
Tits and Spears.
That's it. Tits and Spears. If you're down with Tits and Spears, the night set, you'll love this movie. I totally agree with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Boobs and battle axes.
Boobs and battle axes. Tits and Spears.
Yep.
I think for me, let's see, this movie, I definitely saw it when I was a kid. This is old. Screen debut of Liam Neeson, and I'm pretty sure Patrick Stewart's first movie, although he looks old in this movie as well, which is just mind-boggling.
It's kind of his thing, huh?
He pretty much looks exactly the same.
Like, it's kind of his thing, is the guy's like looked the same for like literally 50 years. And Gabriel Byrne, who I completely forgot was in this, that was a nice surprise. I think that
And Kieran Hines.
And Kieran Hines, and of course Helen Mirren.
Yeah, so Liam Neeson, Gabriel Byrne, Kieran Hines, and Sherry Lungi, who played Guinevere. It's their film debut.
That's correct. There you go. Exactly right. I saw this movie when I was younger, and I liked it for sure. I've seen it maybe once or twice since then. So I didn't really remember anything. Like, obviously, that Gabriel Byrne was in it, and I'm a big fan of his. And, we've talked about movies like this before, or situations like this where it's like, I can't tell if it was like I was tired or what. It felt a little sloggy. So like Ben said, I think he was accurate. It's like, it's kind of like slow and it's action packed at the same time. Like, I was having a little difficulty with it.
Chocolate Rain.
No.
That's what I'm going to say every time you get grumpy about a movie now.
What? Why? Why don't you sing the Skyrim song that he sings,
that was pretty good.
Because that shit was next level.
Because you were so grumpy about Black Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
Yeah, Chocolate Rain.
Oh, Black Rain. Yes, you're right. Oh, shit. That's a death. Should have got that.
Doesn't sound like you're super salty about this, though.
No, I'm not salty about it. I love, like Ben said, or one of you said, I like the Arthurian legend, and it actually made me want to watch two things. I wanted to watch Antoine Fuqua's Arthur with Clive Owen again.
Yeah,
because I've seen parts of that once, and I really wanted to watch that again. And I really enjoy his films. I think he's an excellent filmmaker. He did The Equalizer with Denzel, The Equalizer 2. He did Training Day, like all these great movies. So I wanted to watch that. And then the other thing that it made me...
And then the other one was Transformers The Last Night. That has a drunken Merlin in the opening 5 minutes, played by Stanley Tucci. That was the second one.
I wish that was it. No, it made me want to watch
Avalon High, the Disney Channel original movie that somehow looks and feels like a bigger investment made for TV, but is also inexplicably worse when Arthur is reincarnated as a teenage American girl who has to fight Mordred and befriends a teenage nerd who turns out to be a reincarnated Merlin. Was that the other one?
That's so crazy. That's exactly what I was thinking word for word. No, Disney's The Sword and the Stone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not that. I was actually referring to the very excellent 1998 three-part miniseries called Merlin, which starred Sam Neill and Martin Short and Patricia Richardson, Helena Bonham Carter. It was so good, man. It was so good. In fact, I found it
Never heard of that.
free with ads on Prime last night, and I started watching it again. It's excellent.
Cool. I'll check that out. I want to watch Sword in the Stone again, too.
I want to watch that too. I mean, this movie, you guys kind of said it all, and I already mentioned it. It's slow and fast at the same time. Like Ben said, they somehow managed to cram everything in there. It's a long movie, but it's enjoyable, and they do the passage of time well, and the effects are great for 1981. I was genuinely impressed with
Oh, totally.
things like the sword in Lancelot, and I was impressed with the way they aged everybody. Like at one point, like when Arthur's older, like, you know, he's got this kind of gray hair, but it's like his hair. It's not a wig, and he looks older, not old, but older. Like they didn't go totally ballistic and weird like they did with Zardoz, you know what I mean? Where it was just like, you know, putty and it's like sagging and it just looks kind of dumb and weird. So what? It's true.
No,
so
it's true.
You know, I definitely like this movie. I'd love to watch it again when I have like more energy and it wasn't like a forced watch for this, you know, but it's definitely a great movie. There's no question about it. It's legendary.
Sounds like you're saying like a forced march, like you're trudged through the woods like a prisoner. It's like I had to sit down and watch a movie for 2 hours.
Yeah, like with somebody poking a spear in my back and going, "Watch Excalibur."
That's a good segue, man, because I think one of the things I liked the most about this movie was that there was zero CGI. I really enjoyed just like an old school, what would be just totally full of bullshit effects now and fucking dragons and stuff, was just there's no CGI, and I really enjoyed just watching an old school practical effect fantasy film.
Agreed.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm envisioning Kev as you know, young in the woods boy, Percival, you know, courting Lancelot, and then, you know, finally getting, you know, invited to Camelot and agreeing to run the whole way, and then regretting it about 2/3 of the way through the movie.
And then doing what to 2/3 of the way through the movie?
Regretting it 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Right? I like how if they ran for 20 fucking
It's like
dude,
a 3 days
sprinted
ride
for 20 days.
And then 3 days later, he's like, actually, it's 7 days ride. Oh, is it that big?
Yeah, dude. I was somewhat disappointed that character turned into Parzival because he looked like a young Jimmy Fallon, and I just kind of wanted to make a big shtick of it in the show, but then he turns out to be like a really important character and doesn't look like Jimmy Fallon at all. So I kind of died watching this movie, I think.
There you go. I like that. That's a good death.
Yeah.
Well, it was Jimmy Fallon, you know, the rabbit catching, you know, the thief boy in the woods. That was actually Jimmy Fallon.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm not dead. Thanks, Penny.
And then, yeah, the other guy came in.
Then the older, weirder looking dude came.
Yeah, that guy, Paul Jeffrey, who looks almost nothing. Like
Almost
Jimmy
nothing
Fallon.
like Jimmy Fallon. Literally does not look like Jimmy Fallon at all. Yeah.
But hey, what are you going to do?
Pretty much no.
All right, we all did our kind of high level intro. Where do we want to go next with this? Should we talk about Wilford Brimley now, or
I think we'll gotta get there.
let's let it happen on its own?
Maybe let's touch on the opening a little bit, where
Yes, Chad.
like I kind of didn't find this kind of movie cringy or shitty in some of the ways that you implied, Benny, where like there's good and bad. Like I was kind of along for the ride the whole way. Even like you said, the dialogue seemed over the top, but it kind of fit, and I agree. It kind of felt like a stage play in a way, you know, kind of with the over the top performances.
I'm with that. It definitely like that. I
But
mean, these are all like English stage actors, dude. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it was full of stage actors. Yeah, exactly. And like the opening few minutes I enjoyed, but was also kind of like, okay, you know, where it's like, you know, battle, war, my lord, and fucking Merlin, the dude's like, I gotta have this random average looking woman, and holds the castle
That is.
siege.
Hold on a
and
minute.
whatever. But
We need to go back because the whole the grain dance thing
yeah, exactly.
I find to be one of the funniest things ever.
Oh my god.
it's
Yes.
so bad.
It's like this, you know, they form an alliance, like warring factions forge an alliance because Uther Pendragon gets Excalibur from Merlin. So, like, you know, he's recognized as the true king, and they all, like, you know, whatever. They make peace. He gets the land from there to the sea, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
They have a party at his castle, and, like, Hey, Crane, dance. And then literally John Borman's daughter gets up and starts dancing really awkwardly to like music that is anything but sexy.
It's like a very 60s style of hippie dance.
And she
on
takes
acid.
the like crochet plant holder that holds the giant like spider plant from the corner of John Borman's house down and wears it as a shawl and spins around and shit. Like it was the hippiest, dippiest thing.
Kind of waves it up and down like, yeah, it's just like the goofiest, most awkward scene ever.
Ugh,
And Gabriel
And somehow
is
at the end of it, he's like, I must have her.
I must.
Yeah. Well, I think my take on it was
Like, what?
or what jumped out at me was like, I mean, yeah, that was all weird and shit, but like, I was like, if you ever want to see what a group of horny men look like that haven't had sex in a long time, that are on the verge of rape, this is it. Like, it really came across in the wrong way. I was like,
no doubt.
no.
No doubt.
Because they were all like pounding the table, like, "Arr, arr, arr."
The music's like,
give me a
"Goo,
break,
goo,
dude."
goo, 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 goo,
The
goo,
band
goo,
from the
goo,
Star Wars Cantina was there.
Dude, you know what would have been sick is if like Jabba's sail barge, aka the fucking Heego theme song, started playing in that part.
Exactly.
It's of a similar cloth for sure.
It would have totally
Or
fit.
even, go ahead, sorry. Or even the original, not the stupid reinsert that George Lucas did years later, the original Lapti neck freaking jam from inside Jabba's palace. Can you imagine that while that scene was playing? All those dudes are like pounding the table and shit. That would have been hysterical, man.
And despite the fact that I said there shouldn't be CGI, I want one of those pig dude Gamoran guard dudes CGI'd in the background.
And that's a massive nuclear explosion Star Wars
Right.
to have.
Yeah. I actually kind of want a grain to get dropped into the pit and then eaten by the Rancor.
Yep, I'm down with that. Movie's over.
A grain, dance.
Agree into my ready room. The
Goo, 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 goo.
A grain to my ready room.
the bit that I was trying to get to was the he's like, I got a hammer, and fucking Merlin's like, cool, I'll just say this shit and turn the mist into a thing that you can ride your stupid horse over. And it was just like, fucking holy shit, this is great. And dumb and great. And dumb and great.
Yes.
Like it's just
Your
back and
lust
forth.
will hold you up.
Go!
Arthur, to my ready room.
So bad. And then Alia of the Knife is there watching them bang, and it's just really awkward.
Yeah, a lot of awkward banging and like, everything sexual was like pretty awkward.
Yeah.
Are you the mother and father of the baby now, Merlin?
Grandfather.
Ugh.
The I'll drop a little nugget here that I saw that the sex scene was filmed in 2 bits. So Gabriel Byrne like fucked a pincushion, and then they did the camera angle thing, so it looked like there were 2 people banging,
Oh my
which
god.
is kind of funny. Which is funny on its own, and then when you realize that it's John Borman's daughter, that's just kind of weird.
Yeah, God, his entire family was in this movie.
It's weird. Pretty weird, brah.
He's like, I know I didn't have parts for you in Zardoz, but I got a part for you all in an even weirder movie.
That's a good impression of John Borman, dude. Actually,
It sounded just like him.
just like
I did, right?
director John Borman.
Hey, everybody, I'm director John Borman. How about a basket of fries?
You might know me from movies like Zardoz and Airborne.
You may remember me from such films as Ninja Turtles and Zardoz.
I love it. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like the opening sequence just kind of set me up to go along for the ride, because I didn't recall any of that stuff from the Arthurian legends, all the various Arthurian shit. So I was like, okay, cool. Mist horses and, rape scenes and stuff. Cool, man.
Yeah, it was...
At least Gabriel Byrne was there.
He was there, definitely. He was super angry, but he was there.
It's yeah, I mean the whole like scheme to get him into the castle to, fool Igraine into having sex with him. And then he shows up after Arthur's born, and he's like, just all casual, like,
give me the child.
Is it mine or his? She's like, a man came to me and loved me. It's totally fucked up.
It is, and totally weird too. And they that scene was a little awkward. I don't know if they didn't really nail that one, in my opinion.
No, they didn't. They didn't nail it. But like, he's just like, as Uther, he's just like, yeah, is it mine or his? Like,
yeah.
She's like, wait, what? Like, someone came. I thought it was my husband, but it was you. And then Merlin shows up and walks away.
Takes the baby,
with the
sticks him
kid.
in his coat, leaves.
I will blind you with the shine off the metal of my head.
Dude, that skull cap thing was sick.
It was, and I definitely dug how they always made it. Like, they had a light on it, like, all the time. So it had this sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of
Shine?
otherworldly glow to it. You know what I mean?
It's the green spotlight that they frequented the movie with.
Yeah.
Well, that was definitely for the sword, for sure. But, like, Merlin's, like, cap had like a
Got
like
some
a
love from
white.
the green spotlight too.
Did he? Did he get some love from the green one? Did I? I
did.
must have just
He did.
shoved that out of my brain.
Practical lighting effects, people.
Yeah, that was
Hey,
cool.
man.
Smear a little Vaseline on the lens and stick some bright-ass lights reflecting off the armor, and it looks pretty otherworldly.
It definitely did. And again, like, talking about effects and costumes and stuff, like. Nice. The armor and the sets in particular is what I think I really kind of zeroed on in this movie. That was like my favorite thing. But again, props to these guys. It's 1981. John Boorman has completed Zardoz with a nominal budget of like $1.5 million, and like, they did a really good job with the sets and with the costuming. Like, I really thought the knight's armor looked really good. I don't necessarily think the sound effects the
sound's
sound
atrocious.
But
yeah,
it
the
fits.
sound
It
design,
totally
rather,
fits
not
with
the sound
time,
effects. Well, look, I mean, there's sound effects and there's sound design, and like, the design is like when you have like all the all the Foley effects for the movie were just kind of weak sauce, man. Some of the sound effects themselves were very good. Like, I thought like the sword fighting and the way the swords sound clinging together was really cool. And there's some other cool sound effects, but the sound and design in general is just, it was weak. And it really would have helped, I think, in this movie. But, the armor was super cool. And I loved the way that the sets were, like a lot of outdoor stuff. And it was like a lot of the locations were really woven into what I think would be kind of a, not primordial forest, but definitely closer to that, like in England at that time. You know what I mean? So I really dug how it was like a lot of stone and like there was a lot of trees, kind of woven into the various locations and sets. And I mean, Christ, where the sword and the stone part, it's like just in the middle of the woods, like in some little encampment, basically. It's nothing.
It's like the Ren Fair.
Yeah, at the Ren Fair. Exactly.
Everyone's
It's
rolfing
not,
around
it's
the
not like,
place.
on a hill in the sacred stone, like it's nothing dumb like that. I liked how it was just kind of ordinary, and it seemed like the buildings and the locations kind of blended in with the environment, which seems more realistic for the time. You know what I mean? With the exception of like Arthur's castle, and I think there might have been one or two other castles. So I really appreciated that about this movie for sure. Sorry, that was a little long-winded.
It's all right. Yeah, I guess this was a lot filmed around John Boorman's place in Ireland, and I don't know if you guys have spent much time over there, but it's fucking gorgeous
Dude, I
scenery.
am John Boorman.
Oh.
I am John Boorman, Chad, so of course I've
You
been
might know
there.
me from such movies as... Yeah.
I'm film and television's John Boorman. And this is Ireland.
Yes.
I love how John Boorman is like a surfer bro. That's pretty good.
I love it too, man. And he was also in Airborne now.
Yeah, he's like a caricature of Keanu Reeves. Basically.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. What? Borman, when are you going to finish this movie? Sir, I take the skin off chicken. No.
Yeah. I've beaten the world of movie making.
Oh, shit. Yes.
Now I'm going to beat the world of breakfast sausages.
A classic. So damn good. So let the folks at home in on the joke. If you have not watched the Robot Chicken Keanu Reeves sausages sketch,
It's pretty good.
You must go watch it right now. We'll link it up in the show notes if we can find it.
I'm a fan of sausages. I like Keanu's sausage the best to eat.
Well, wouldn't it be I like John Borman sausages?
Just listen to these breakfast fans.
Guys, get it out of your system.
We're done. Okay, we're done.
I love it. So I don't want to go play for play here, but I do want to mention...
No.
I do want to mention that I really fucking cracked up when Arthur's got the sword and he's like off fucking LARPing through the woods with Merlin.
LARPing.
And there's just one little scene where he's like flipping the sword around and kind of like trying to train or some shit, and he looks just like the lightsaber kid, and I fucking lost it at that one, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
so
God.
good.
Nice call, dude.
It was the
Lightsaber
lamest
kid
sword
is
play I've ever seen
freaking-
in my life, and I thought it was hilarious.
The lightsaber kid was better than than that sword play.
Yeah. So shout out to Lightsaber Kid, wherever you are. You're probably 35 now.
That dude was the first like internet legend, man. Like that. I remember way back when that was a thing.
Postage stamp size video.
Yeah, like nobody even knew about it, man. It was like, nerds only kind of whatever.
You dropping
Anyway.
an original hipster thing here? I knew about Lightsaber Kid before Lightsaber Kid knew about Lightsaber Kid. You filmed it?
No, I just spit water and snot everywhere. That was
Sorry about
so funny.
You just snot rocketed your mic? That's gross.
No, not on my gear. Thank God I caught it. Hang on.
You were just talking about Nigel Terry as a Star Wars kid.
Yeah, Nigel Terry was Star Wars Kid, man. Did he do anything else?
OG Star Wars kid. He has done other stuff.
Yeah.
Not that I've watched, but
He was an interesting choice. Like when I saw him as a squire there in the opening, I was just kind of like, huh, all right. Random Irish dude is Arthur. Okay. And then he kind of definitely grew into the character a lot and was quite regal by the end of it. Did a good job.
He did great. I was really, I had the same exact experience. I was like, he's kind of a tool. And then I was like, wow, he's awesome, man. Like he really was
Yeah.
crushing it by the end, I mean, really the whole movie,
he's great, man. I mean, he was like, he's trying to play like basically a teenager when he's like 30 at the beginning of the movie. So
He's very doe-eyed.
You know what, dude? It worked, Ben.
he did every bit as good as he could. Yeah, absolutely. Despite the fact that he didn't look like a teenager, the lightsaber kid shit with Excalibur was pretty spot on, I think.
Yeah, we all would have done it. Yep.
Yeah, we all did do it.
And he's like, I left the sword in the tent. Pops, I'll be right back. And then like chases the thief.
Just like a Jedi lightsaber.
Aw, God damn it.
I'm sorry, Kay, your sword was stolen, but here's Excalibur.
Like, wait, what? He does it so nonchalantly. Like, did you draw the sword, Kay? Yeah. Well, no, I didn't.
Yes, no. Let the boy try.
Right? Fucking 75-year-old Patrick Stewart's in this movie. I love it.
75-year-old Patrick Stewart in 1981.
Dude, speaking of like immortal people, he got the shitty end of the stick here because Keanu's perpetually looked like he's about 25, but poor Patrick Stewart's looked like an elderly man his entire life. It's pretty fucking rough.
Yeah, true, but like he's a very handsome fellow.
Oh,
so,
no doubt, but
time is definitely on Patrick Stewart's side, and he knows it. He's playing the long game, whereas Keanu eventually is going to,
what, crumble?
Crumble. Yeah, it's going to happen, and eventually it's got to happen. Unless he's like a vampire or something, which I wouldn't rule out.
I wouldn't put anything past Keanu at this point, dude. The dude's a legend.
Or an immortal of some variety.
I'm very curious to see how he looks as Neo, the 60-year-old, in December.
Ah, dude, what is up with that nonsense, man?
I don't know. I'm still gonna watch it and probably hate fuck the whole thing.
Oh, you're.
I'm gonna be so salty. I guarantee it.
You are. I cannot wait to talk about that movie just so I can listen to you bitch for an hour.
Yeah.
See, I didn't hate the second and the third movie like you guys did.
I'm gonna watch it just to torture myself.
That's it. That was a Matrix death, by the way.
I'm going to eat an entire box of breakfast sausages while I watch Matrix 4.
It's going to be brutal.
Brutal hate fest.
Dude, we don't even we're not talking about
Memoirs of Hatred, dude. Bring your I'll give you the Memoirs of Hatred book and you can bring it.
And I'll read it and brush up. But Patrick Stewart is a perpetually elderly man who I love and who is fantastic in this. And who had such a small part. Like I thought he was going to stick around.
Same. There's not enough Patrick Stewart in this movie, dude. I was really upset about that.
He's absolutely excellent. Yeah.
No question, man.
Yeah.
I saw it. The boy took the sword. Now, everyone, to my ready room.
If a boy has pulled the sword from the stone, then the boy shall be king.
There you go. Nice, dude.
Excalibur, to my ready room.
Guinevere, to my ready room.
I did not at all pick up on Kieran Hines until I saw the cast afterwards. He was fucking sitting on a horse next to Patrick Stewart throughout half of the goddamn movie.
I don't know his face well enough. I thought I did, but I'm to pick him out in this movie. I mean, Patrick Stewart is easy. He looks the same.
Even Gabriel Byrne, he looked young as fuck, but you picked him out.
Yeah, absolutely. And ditto Liam Neeson, who had like one line.
Yep. Qui-Gon. Helen Mirren was awesome. Kate Capshaw, everybody. Helen Mirren was amazing. I did not recognize her until 10 minutes in to her acting. And I was like, is that Helen Mirren?
Yes.
That was cool.
It was Kate Capshaw as Helen Mirren as Morgana.
Right. Fair.
Boom.
Well, she did a good job.
Anyway, Helen Mirren was great. And I hadn't, as I said in the pregame, I haven't seen a movie with her in a long time, with her that young, and she is quite a looker.
She's, she's been doing the charm of making all these years. Oh
boy.
Yeah, man, she did a great job, especially alongside the dude that played Merlin. Like they were both really, really great together.
Yes. And an excellent nugget about that is that they did some stage production. I can't remember which it is, and they absolutely hated each other. And John Boorman cast them specifically because they had that animosity towards each other, and he thought it would lend well to their relationship in the story.
Yeah, right.
And A, it did, and then B, they become like really close friends on this movie, which is super cool.
Oh, that's cool. They made up.
Totally. And they might have made out.
Whoa, I love the goss.
After a basket of fries with John Boorman.
We're just going to keep coming back to it. I love it.
Dude, I have not run out yet. I'm not going to. Actually, I will in probably 28 minutes. So, continue.
Hey.
Gar!
I just had a moment when you responded with Gar, and it kind of had a hint of Brimley, so I kind of think Brimley might be a good
addition.
I think Brimley would have been great in this movie. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I agree. Sir Brimley. I mean, come on, dude. Sir Brimley of the Oatfield.
What if Brimley played Merlin instead of...
yes.
I mean, yeah.
I think Brimley should have been one of the knights. There's so many weird-looking knights that I think he would have fit right in.
Dude, if one of those dudes had flipped up his visor and I saw Brimley's round
just
face
popped
with the
out.
glasses and the goddamn mustache, I probably would have just puked all over the floor.
It would have been amazing.
Let's talk about Nicole Williamson.
He was awesome.
Wow. This dude. I really enjoyed him being the kind of thread bearer, the thread leader, through the entire story. Because, I mean, the story takes place through time. It's not like hundreds of years, but, Merlin is still that kind of ethereal kind of being that, hints that he doesn't really, he walks in other realms and all of that sort of thing. And he kind of ties the whole story together. And I like it. He's not like a dweeb, but he's not evil in the, in the movie. He's very much like, on the side of good. I've seen him portrayed in like, sort of a darker light, I guess, in other mediums, none of which I can remember off the top of my head.
He's sort of like a figure of guidance, but, not like a flawed figure of guidance, like he's trying to steer mankind in the right direction, but, he has his own flaws and foibles that are affecting everything that's going on. I think he was it's such like a memorable, for me anyways, it's a very memorable role. It's a very memorable character. And Nicole Williamson's portrayal is definitely, somebody hit it on the head earlier saying that like, this kind of reminds me of a stage production. And, the acting is kind of like stage acting in a film, if you will. Which is definitely, stage acting is definitely, you're broadcasting a hell of a lot harder because you're projecting your voice and you're trying to portray things big to the people all the way at the back of the thing. Whereas in a movie, it's just for a fucking camera, But
yeah,
he's great and pretty funny a lot of the times too.
Yeah, he had a lot of range with the character for sure. He seems like the kind of actor too, where like. He just looks so familiar, but I don't recognize him from anything else. He just seemed like he would have been a real heavy-hitting actor at the time.
Yeah, I have a theory.
Yeah?
Oh, lay it down, dude. Please.
I have a theory that he was channeling Alec Guinness's portrayal of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Dude, I love it.
Dude, I was thinking this exact thing.
Yeah, totally. I was thinking Alec Guinness could have totally done this.
You guys, this is John Borman, filmmaker. You guys totally just said the same thing at the same time.
Let's celebrate with a basket of fries.
It was a...
Let's get some za.
There you go.
Let's get some za.
Cowabunga, dude. Time for a 99 cheese pizza.
Ew.
At littlecaesars.com.
Pizza.
Yeah, I don't, thank God.
So sorry to fucking drop some bombs on your really good point, Penny. I agree. I think he was definitely channeling some Alec Guinness.
No, I was totally thinking that exact thing, like right before you said it. I was thinking about Alec Guinness. Like he so reminded me of like Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be that they're from a similar background or,
maybe.
What have you. But
I mean, they're both English actors. They kind of look alike. They had the same facial hair situation,
very similar parts as well. So
absolutely, man, absolutely. Except that Merlin didn't die.
He became a dream to some, a nightmare to others.
And the ones
You got it, dude.
The nightmare to others where they like change the fucking shot and he steps out of frame and they start filming again. He just disappears in one frame. It was so great. I love
one frame.
Yes. I liked his weird lair underneath the castle. It was kind of like stalactites.
Yes. Oh, the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes.
It is the place where opposites meet.
With the giant freaking gold dragon in the corner.
Yes. And like there's all kinds of weird shit going on in there. Visions of other people doing shit.
Yeah, I like I mean, this is kind of a step away from the cast, but I liked the way they wove the lore and the legend of the dragon into like all these natural things, like the fog is the dragon's breath, and like the land is the dragon's skin, and like it's like that whole idea that the dragon is this thing that's so large that if you saw every part of it, like you would go insane, like, and that it's like just intertwined throughout everything in nature. Like I found that to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And his lair is sort of like the belly of a dragon kind of a thing.
It's super cool.
I guess.
I didn't pick up on it to that level of detail because it was my first viewing, but realizing that it's kind of talking about like the land and the earth as the dragon, I was still kind of stuck in there's like some giant dragon off camera that you're not going to see. So I totally dig that and didn't pick up on it fully at first, but it's super cool.
Yeah, I've probably seen this movie a couple too many times.
Oh, I like it though because it adds that layer. Like it's super cool. Yeah, you ejecting, Kev?
No, I'm just sitting here enjoying the rich leather of this fine chair and the
Enjoying the new layout of IMDb.
smell of mahogany.
Are you looking up some Merlin lines to deliver as Brimley? I hope you are.
No, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not.
I hope you're like reading something totally different.
Well, I'm
on Ain't It Cool News.
No, it's nothing as cool as that. It's pretty fucking lame, actually. All that talk about Alec Guinness made me think of this video that I saw that I kind of dismissed, but then I kind of was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, that was actually pretty damn cool. Like, somebody did this reimagining of the Obi-Wan
the fight
Vader
with Vader. Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
It was pretty good.
And then I was just like, I gotta find it. Great timing, Kev.
I loved the Merlin dynamic with Helen Mirren as Morgana, especially when he's like, it's a lonely life, the way of the necromancer. You're just like tips his fedora to Milady, like it's just I fucking got a good chuckle out of that one, trying to insinuate that it's really tough and I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard, Harry. It's really hard. It's a tough life.
Yeah, it's just like, but the glory moments, fading moments.
Damn it, dude, you just totally have that down.
Yeah, you're killing it.
I've seen this movie a few too many times, I think.
That's okay. That's why Brimley can't be Merlin. Brimley has to be one of the knights.
Yeah. Maybe Brimley could be Lancelot, man. The best of all the knights. I think the queen would have totally had a crush on old Brimster.
No, milady. It's my job to stand up for your honor. Fight Sir Gawain.
That's good.
Just like to ask that I get one nice, warm, hot bowl.
I'm never gonna love another. I'm never gonna love another.
I was going to say. Well, I'll tell you, I've only got one love in my entire life. Milady, it's a hot bowl of Quaker oatmeal. Now, I know we're back here in the ancient times and we haven't invented oatmeal yet, but let me tell you, it's damn good. It sticks to your ribs.
Fixes up your stab
You're gonna
wounds
love
when
it
you
too.
can stab with a sword.
Exactly. How did you heal that wound so fast?
Oatmeal compress, sir.
Hot Quaker oats. Hot Quaker oats, boy.
Yeah, it's the old wound, my lord. These hard times, oatmeal's been hard to come by. And I'm afraid my health has deteriorated quite a bit. I wish I could stick around and help you finish this fight here, but, well, I'm just going to have to go ahead and sit this one out.
I'm going to have to get some stick to your ribs oatmeal instead.
I'm going to have to go ahead and sit this one out. I love it.
Good times.
Was that before or after Dot Matrix from Spaceballs rode in on a horse?
Dude, nice call. Wow. Forgot about that.
Fucking loved that armor, dude. Holy shit, that was funny.
It was it was cool. Elements of the armor were cool, but it was also super weird, too. It was like, you could see his nipples and like in the armor. Like I was like, no.
Yes, the armor had nipples for sure.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's just too weird. And the helmet was bizarre too, with the hair
In the face?
Yeah, exactly. Except the mouth, it's like, why didn't you just make the whole face? Like, my God, it was already so weird. Like, why not just go the extra 5 feet and make it completely bizarre?
It was great.
I wish I could do it, Joan Rivers.
I
right
know.
now because
That was all I could think about every time he was on the screen, and I really enjoyed it.
yeah, what a twat,
Who? Mordred?
Mordred.
Yeah,
Just a
the original twat. I love it. It's a great use of twat.
just a twat.
Yeah. Of the few things I remember about this movie from days of yore, one of them was like the gold-clad Mordred, like galloping through the woods, like tee-hee-hee, tee-hee-hee. You know, like that was super weird and creepy, which is fine because it goes with the character, I guess. But I don't know. John Borman's kid played him, and he did a good job. Or he played one of them, the young one,
young version, I believe. Yeah,
yeah, you're right. But it was still it was good. I mean, it was good and creepy and sort of sadistic and
it's like he's a total mama's boy, and then like
literally,
literally, and inbred,
Right?
but he's a total mama's boy. And he ends up like fucking Merlin like forces Morgana to like use her magic and lose her youth extension magic or whatever, and he just kills her.
Yeah, that was pretty hectic.
yeah, that was really, really weird.
He's like, "Oh, my sweet, sweet boy." And he's like, "Oh, you fucking old." Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, little bit of a lame pun, but it's like it was super morbid. And ditto when he like kills Arthur. I was just like, what is up with this, man?
Come, Father, let us embrace.
Yes, that was actually really good, but I don't know, like him killing his mom, like it was so twisted and sadistic, you know? Like he just had like kind of dead shark eyes kind of thing going on, you know? Like he was just, sick. He was just fucked up.
Maybe one of the things that works so well here is that the King Arthur mythology is, from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So like it's been flattened over time to where it's just a bunch of tropes at this stage, which is fine. And like the characters have been flattened to like caricatures, and they probably just are caricatures, and probably isn't any historical accuracy to any of it. And it really fits with the kind of stage-like performance. So the kind of baddie being the kind of seed of evil, the rape of Arthur, and kind of the sister wants to get back at Arthur because Arthur's half the guy that raped her mom. Like it totally fits with all those old mythological kind of tropes. And so the embracing at the end,
Sure,
where, he's just a piece of shit. Like it fits, even though it's kind of tropey.
Yeah, I guess a little tropey. I liked it though.
I liked it too.
That whole embrace thing was cool.
And pulling himself in the spear and getting him with Excalibur and stuff. It was cool. But it was very stage-ish. Like you could have seen that same exact scene acted out on a stage,
Very much.
Well, and I gotta say, I gotta defend this scene a little bit because I think like we've seen this happen a lot in recent episodes where it's like we're tired of something, but this was probably the film that invented it, not the film that made it like fatigue worthy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
yeah, there's like some payoff of some sort of exposition in the film where Morgana is making like enchanting his armor, saying that no blade, no spear, no, axe or whatever made by man will ever harm you while you're wearing this.
Right.
And of course, Excalibur is not made by man. So
yeah, that's cool.
It's like Arthur's just waiting for his moment to get close enough to him to stab him with it.
Yeah.
So he does. Well,
and the tragedy of killing your son or whatever too.
Yeah. Killing his son, but also, sacrificing himself.
It's cool shit, man.
Yeah. Fucking Percival, not fucking throwing the sword back.
Right? I love that. That was so funny. Yeah, go and throw the sword back in the lake. Okay, sir. And he just like, coconut fucking clip clops. And then he comes back. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like, go do it again. Okay.
I couldn't, my lord.
Clippity cloppity,
I couldn't do it.
clop. It was so funny, dude. I like how they did the whole thing twice. Like it totally worked for me.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. The way they shot the Lady of the Lake in the various scenes was pretty cool, man. I thought that was very ethereal.
Yeah, definitely. In all of them, there's like a lot of great scenes and beautiful scenes that revolve around that. And again, they broke out that, special green spotlight.
Yeah.
In all those scenes. But the one at the end of the movie there is like, it's like really dark.
Mm.
And the way it's filmed is like, it's definitely got a very iconic look to it.
Yeah.
When her hand comes up and like the way the sword goes through the air and it like just kind of lands perfectly in her hand. And then she pulls it down under the water like really fast. It's cool.
Yeah, I wonder if they shot that in reverse or something. I feel like there was a few scenes in this that were shot in reverse.
Probably.
What's her name's hippy dippy Sarlacc pit dance scene? I think was some of that was in reverse.
Oh man. Grain.
The face that launched 1,000 ships or whatever. She was not that good looking. That was funny.
Just no. I mean, not like not horrible looking or anything.
No,
but just
no.
not Helen of Troy beautiful, not like, not I'm going to betray the alliance beautiful.
I want to destroy my kingship and my entire kingdom.
Yeah. I'm going to divide the kingdom and, create chaos.
Okay.
I mean, Merlin could have just been like,
Merlin's like, I can get you a
she's
toad,
not
dude.
that hot.
I can get you another girl. I did enjoy the scene later, though, with Arthur being like, I love her. And Merlin's like, fuck, not again. Never again.
Oh, definitely.
That was cool. He learned his lesson.
Definitely. The future is like the cake. Until you've eaten it, you don't know. But then again, it's too late.
Too late.
Too late.
Dude, how about that metal castle, dude? Avalon as a giant metal castle was pretty fucking cool.
It was Camelot.
What did I say?
Yeah, I was going to say Avalon.
Oh,
Where
sorry.
was that?
I'm dead. Camelot. That was cool, though. Hey, I thought that was a cool bit of 70s, 80s set design.
Yes. Yes, the chrome castle.
Yeah. The Shrike would live in that fucker.
Again, adorned with the green light.
Yeah.
Oh, it was dope. I dug that.
We need lots of chrome and green lights in this movie.
Yeah.
No, again, the set design, like the castle's great. The interior of the castle is great. The round table with like the Celtic knot in the center. And like, I thought that was a great design.
He loves his round tables. Isn't there a round table in Zardoz, too?
Yeah, the big banquet table.
Mm.
Yes, it's true. I mean, the round table is kind of a thing in the Arthurian legend, though.
Oh, no doubt.
No head of the table, everybody is equal at the table, able to speak their mind. I guess it's the same thing in Zardoz, but
Slightly weirder, with more fishnet clothing.
much weirder. No!
I will not go to level 2 with you!
No! I will not go to level 2! No!
Oh, that movie fucking sucked!
That kind of happened to... Wow, it's kind of a similar scene, like, with Gawain, like, being prompted by Morgana, like, to bring up the fact that Guinevere was had the hots for Lancelot.
It's true.
Very similar.
Yeah, that was kind of intense.
That was. But it was nice to see Liam Neeson get some lines.
Definitely.
Yes, that was good because that was pretty much all he had. That and the joust.
Mm.
The Queen is innocent!
What else do we have? The Holy Grail shit was kind of cool. I had kind of forgotten the Holy Grail stuff was part of the Arthurian legend, aside from obviously the search for the Holy Grail, Monty Python stuff. Like,
I didn't remember that at all, and that's not in the Merlin 3-part miniseries or any of the others that I've seen, at least that I can remember. I don't remember that at all. I thought it was, I don't know, it seemed out of place and weird, but that could just be me and my lack of knowledge.
I looked into it a little bit because I was like trying to remember the timing of King Arthur and stuff, and so I was like reading a bit of the Wikipedia shit on it, and I didn't realize this, but a a lot of the romantic stuff and the Holy Grail stuff was written in by some French writers in like the 1400s or something. So a few hundred years after the original manuscripts and shit. And then I don't know, like it's really messy historically and probably is all mythology, but it's kind of interesting that the Holy Grail stuff was tacked on at the end by writers later on. So that's probably why it feels tacked on in general anyways, you know?
Mm. And there's some stuff in the movie that, probably got cut from it that would have explained it a little better. But I didn't realize they already had the Grail. And there's the scene where, like, lightning strikes Arthur down and, like, the Grail disappears at that moment. But they already had, like, he's, like, giving communion with the Grail at that ceremony.
Oh, really?
So they lose it there, and then that's like when the shit hits the fan, and the land and the king are one. So the land starts to die, and that's why he sends them out after it, because it was basically stolen from them by Morgana.
Yeah, okay.
But it's very not clear at all that that's the case. It's only like in this last viewing that I was like, but they already had. Okay. It's not like they didn't have the Grail and they got it to try and like fix things. It's like they already had it and they were all fucked up because they didn't have it anymore.
Mm.
I didn't get that. I just got it now that you explained it.
Yeah.
I don't want to beat up on the Christian elements of this at all, but like I do find it interesting that, the whole Arthur myth is very Christian, and Merlin would represent the pagan ways, and kind of, I remember reading like Mists of Avalon when I was younger, and it kind of deals a lot with that, like the old versus the new and paganism versus Christianity. And so that's kind of an interesting layer in there too.
Yeah, definitely. It's very, Christianity taking over from the pagan religions, from the Druids and such.
Yeah. It's just super fascinating.
Merlin is essentially supposed to be a Druid, so he's like, the old guard.
Yeah. I did start watching Merlin last night as I was going to bed. Didn't get very far, but like one of the focuses there, which I guess was either the same or, similar to what you were just talking about, which is the idea of like the passing of the pagan age of religion into Christianity, because magic was, attached to the pagan way, and Christianity was just not about that. So I don't know. I dig that element of it, and I wish. I don't know. No,
it's interesting storytelling, and like it seems to me at least that a lot of the mythology was written back in the day because there needed to be a bit of a patriotic kind of rally point for society, back in the fucking year 1000 or whatever the fuck. Like it's almost like a Christ-like myth, Arthur is a Christ-like figure, and
very much so.
The legend of Arthur is similar in terms of importance to the Anglo-Saxon kind of culture. It's just an interesting. It's just interesting how old it is. It's just such an ancient myth.
I was reading somebody's take on it where it's like Arthur as the king is sort of like the embodiment of the Christian deity.
Yeah.
So like all that, like you and the land are one stuff. And, when Percival goes and he finally finds the Grail, he's like confronted by, I don't know, one would presume God or Arthur or whatever, but like he literally just comes out and he's like, who am I? And he's like, you're Arthur, my king. What is the secret I've forgotten? You're the land one, But so, it's like it's deeply intertwined, the Christianity and the king and the all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally thought it was going the God route with Arthur, and it was interesting when he said that, like you said, when he said he's king, my King Arthur or whatever. It clubs you over the head a little bit with the Christian stuff, but it's still a fascinating fable.
I didn't find myself clubbed over the head by the Christian stuff. I mean, it was present, but
I found it to just be fact of business, like that was what was going on. So that's just sort of the language that it's told in.
Yeah. And the best representation of Christ is Keanu Reeves as Neo in the third Matrix movie. So we could just circle back to that.
And also dead.
I Now that you mention it, man, being as somebody who is raised in the Catholic Church and no longer practicing Catholic, but there was this really the Jesus on the cross. There was up behind the altar, there was like a big Jesus on the cross, like a sort of like marble Jesus. Jesus was ripped, man. Like Jesus had
totally ripped,
total like 6-pack abs, like. It was like this, like, I don't know. I was kind of a chubby kid and I felt like body shamed by Jesus, basically. What the fuck? Like,
That's amazing.
So, it might as well have been Keanu up there, really.
Yeah. That's fucking
agreed
great.
And well said.
Body shamed by Jesus.
Like, how is Jesus so ripped?
Well, dude, I know you guys haven't seen Hamlet 2, but that's like a big part of they put on a production at the end, a musical called Hamlet 2. And one of the names of the songs in it is Rock Me Sexy Jesus. It's great.
That's awesome. I think that's a great way to tie up the religiosity from this movie.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Jesus can be funny. I mean, fucking Monty Python's Holy Grail and the other one. What was the Jesus one? Fucking
Jesus Christ, dude. The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch?
Exactly.
That was a revelation for me.
Totally.
Because also there were these weird depictions of like Mary holding baby Jesus. And for some reason, baby Jesus was palming this, round little thing with a cross on top of it that
the Holy Hand Grenade.
I was like, what the hell is that thing? Like, well, clearly it was the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Count us not thou till 4. 5 is right out.
Oh Lord, bless this thy hand grenade. With it thou may blow us thy enemies to tiny bits in thy mercy.
And the people did feast on fruit bats and orangutans and breakfast cereals.
We had bits and bobs territory.
We've already kind of been, but yeah.
The only bit I have is in the scene where, well, I suppose I've got 2 bits. The first bit will segue into the second bit because why not? We didn't really
2 bits.
We did shaving a haircut. We didn't touch on the introduction of Lancelot with the kind of total bridge. What is your name? What is your favorite color? Which I thought this movie was before Holy Grail, but it was not. So I kind of find it even funnier that they used the bridge, considering the hilarity of Holy Grail from a few years earlier. But
it was more like the Black Knight scene.
Yeah, it kind of had a bit of both. It's Black Knight meets the bridge because it
was like the Black Knight scene, but just with a bridge.
Yeah, Black Knight scene was fucking hilarious. But anyways, They end up fighting in the rocks, and like Arthur breaks the sword, and he's all boo fucking who for 4 seconds before the sword is fixed. And the Lady of the Lake is lying under the water there, and she totally looked like Gwyneth Paltrow's mom, and all I could think about was those vagina candles you were talking about, and how Gwyneth Paltrow's mom is Lady of the Lake, and that's my bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
It's a meandering bit. Yeah. Thank you.
Very astute.
I'll be here all week.
Super weird too, but whatever.
You blew my mind with those candles, though, Benny.
My vagina smells like this candle.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
I would say that that's another bit I would bring up, but for the purpose of we touched on Nigel Terry swinging his sword around as Star Wars kid, but there was another moment of him kind of throwing it down, man. Like going from rage and anger to realizing that he did goof up so thoroughly that he just gets his sword fixed and everything's okay. But and thus forges his friendship with Lancelot or whatever. But I just thought his performance there was really good.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree.
Another great little Merlin line in there. You have broken what can not be broken. My pride broke it, Merlin. My anger.
It was me, Lucky Charms, Merlin.
frosted Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
Holy shit.
No riddles, Merlin.
You got anything, Kev?
I do not. I already extolled my virtues of the movie, so I don't have a ton on this one. I didn't. I wish that I watched it like a million times, like Ben, because he's just
Dropping lore.
dropping lore and lines, and I'd be right there with him if I was up to speed.
It's very, very quotable.
Super quotable.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll echo that because we kind of like jankily went through the cast and sort of already just started doing bits and bobs, really. So
Yep.
I guess we can leave it there.
Yeah, Nuggets test ratings then.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I feel like people that like this movie are going to fucking hate this podcast.
Likely.
I don't know. I think we extolled its virtues. You got any nuggets there, Kev?
I do, actually.
All right.
Why don't you go first?
I only got one nugget. This nugget is specifically for the Rolling Stallones because I can tell them a nugget that will make them hate this director for the rest of eternity, which was Borman was sent an early draft for Rocky by producer Robert Chardoff, and he wrote back saying that not only was he not interested, but that he strongly advised Chardoff to drop the project completely. And I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
So Borman shit all over Rocky, and fuck him. Fuck you, Keanu Borman.
We're not going to continue the fucking John Borman joke here?
No.
Bro, I totally think you should diss this Rocky movie, because that script really sucks. Anyways, if you want to get together with me for a basket of fries...
I don't know if you've seen my original movie Zardoz, starring Sean Connery in a G-string, but that script that you wrote about the boxer looks so fucking dumb.
I came up with it while I was eating a basket of fries, bro.
Dude, the dude that made Zardoz cannot talk shit about any other movie.
Ireland rules.
Yeah, totally. The Irish surfer. I think. Okay, here's my Borman nugget. I'm gonna do it as Borman, as Ben has requested.
Okay, fair enough.
I, John Borman, directed Exorcist II: The Heretic to help fund this movie. When that turned out to be one of the biggest bombs ever made, this became my comeback. And a basket of fries.
There you go. Are they waffle fries or are they curly fries?
Regular fries.
Just plain Jane fries.
Regular crinkle fries.
Oh, crinkle fries aren't regular, man. Come on.
Right. Regular fries. I like that nugget. It's a good one. Because it's like he also again was trying to make like a Lord of the Rings movie. Guy was like obsessed with Lord of the Rings, right? Tried to make Lord of the Rings, ended up making Zardoz. Tried to make Lord of the Rings, ends up making Excalibur. Makes Exorcist 2 to fund this movie, which is his Lord of the Rings movie. Fails miserably, and this movie becomes a hit.
Yeah.
You sank my nugget.
I don't have any other nuggets, bro. That's it. That's it for me. That this movie was essentially just a giant Sunny D commercial.
Okay. This movie as a Sunny D commercial.
Uh-huh.
I can't do the Merlin voice. I want... Behold, Sunny D.
Sunny D.
Behold, Sunny D.
Behold, Morgana. Sunny D. This is coming out like an angry Patrick Stewart.
Sunny D to my ready room. Dude,
When bird and beast and man were one, behold,
Sunny D.
Sunny D.
But that...
When a man drinks something other than Sunny D, he murders some part of the world.
That should be the Sunny D commercial. Directed by John Borman.
That's good stuff.
Okay, so just my last nugget is I just read this one and it was so interesting. Liam Neeson and Helen Mirren met on the set of this movie and then they lived together for 4 years. Dun, dun, dun.
Weird. Like,
right?
they're roomies?
Yes, they were platonic roommates.
Yeah, they were platonic roommates.
Okay.
I'm sure that's what the deal was.
Like Three's Company.
Dude, they must have been together when. Yeah.
So who's the third person?
Jack, I think that if so now I'm picturing them living together in an apartment or flat, as it were, and Liam Neeson receives the script in the mail for Next of Kin.
Yep.
Then what happens? I don't know. Anyway, Nuggets deaths rating.
I have a very particular set of skills.
Deaths. There was some major Star Wars deaths in here.
Yes.
I had a Matrix death.
Well, I kind of there was a lot of Matrix deaths too, but I kind of just all right. So here's how it rolled. I died with the Black Rain, Chocolate Rain thing,
Yep.
and then Chad, you died with the I died watching this / the Jimmy Fallon death.
Yeah.
And then I gave us all a new death, a nuclear Star Wars death, because it was just like a sort of a death blossom, nerd blossom of Star Wars references.
Yeah, it was the whole Jabba's palace comparison to the Green Dance scene.
And the music. Chad had a really a nice egregious death, which was calling Camelot Avalon.
Yeah. You can take away my LARPing card now.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think I put Chad with the Matrix death, Ben with the Matrix death, but it really was there was an orgy of Matrix, and we were all dying at one point because there was so many Matrix references flying around. So that's sort of where I landed.
I just realized there was a death that I had a stealth death where the first time I tried to say LARPing, I said Rolfing, which I don't know what the fuck I was like, what does that mean? And I think it was a dyslexic rolling on the floor laughing that I just pulled out of nowhere as opposed to LARPing. So that's just a weird.
No, Rolfing is an actual thing. It's like a massage or a meditative technique or something.
There you go.
That.
I said Rolfing instead of LARPing. So I had a incorrect LARPing death.
All right, we'll check that in there.
All right. Yeah. My Obi-Wan / Merlin theory, I think, merits Star Wars death as well.
Oh, you had an ejection, Kev, where you went off to watch Star Wars videos like an asshole.
Oh, you're right. Damn it. Okay, so yeah, that's the entirety of the deaths.
Yay!
Yay! All right, ratings.
This movie is a Stallone's 5, which is a good movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was flawed. I thought it was quite good, and I liked some of the conversation today where it was clear that some of the more over-the-top stuff really aligns with the stage-iness as opposed to it being bad writing or whatever. So, yeah, it was good flick. I enjoyed it.
Yes. Well said.
This one definitely gets a nostalgia bonus. I do believe it's flawed, but I also kind of love its flaws. It's a great movie. It's not for everyone, but if you connect with it, you connect with it. It's a 9 out of 10.
Nice. What did you think, Kev?
What did I think? I got to echo what Ben said. Yeah, there may be flaws. I really don't care. They're great, and it's really a great movie. I wasn't so beat up this week when I was trying to watch it, because it is really sort of classic kind of / legendary movie, man. I mean, there's definitely been other stuff done on Merlin. That's definitely good, as I talked about earlier, but this is a classic, dude. It's got the screen debut of some acting legends, man, which is fantastic. And I just dig the sets and the practical effects, man. They get a big fat A from me, really, really good. I also, not tip my hat to John Borman trying to make Lord of the Rings again. and in the second movie that we've talked about. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie I'll give it a 9 out of 10 too. It's worthy for sure, man. There's a lot going on here, man,
Nice. Very good. I want to tack something on the end here as an addendum that I would be remiss if we didn't talk about it, and that's we did sort of touch on the armor in this movie and how gorgeous it is, and that's the work of Terry English, who's also done. I mean, he's done armor for a bunch of movies, even including something like Aliens. like the Colonial Marines and the stuff that they wore.
Nice.
But there's a really awesome video series that Adam Savage from Mythbusters and Now of Tested did, where he actually went to Terry English's workshop and built his own suit of King Arthur armor.
Fuck yeah.
That's dope.
That's a sick nugget, Benny. Nice one.
Yeah, seriously, man.
I'll check that out. I love watching those making whatever. Is it a day build or did they actually spend like a bunch of time on it?
No, it's like a 7-part.
Fuck yeah.
That's a multi-part. Yeah.
I find the day builds are cool, but they usually cut a lot of corners. That's sick. I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, there's just because you guys are mentioning like build series videos, there's a bunch of nerds doing like all the weapons and shit from Mando. It's worth checking out.
Cool.
I don't have any of it saved or whatever, but it's worth checking out for Mando Star Wars fans out there.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look up, Adam Savage Excalibur armor, you will quickly come up with this playlist. And he also made his own Excalibur sword.
I think I saw that
I mean, he makes his own everything, but he's a huge fan of this movie, and he's even quoted as being, like one of his like coming out as a huge nerd was like making his own Excalibur sword and his own Excalibur armor and going to school in the armor with his sword.
That's awesome.
When he was like a pimply young nerd. So,
well, I gotta
kudos to that,
on that.
and kudos to this movie, and kudos to Terry English.
Yeah, agreed. I gotta say this: if you make your own armor and Excalibur sword when you're a kid in high school
and wear it to
and
school.
you go to school, you are a fucking legend, dude, and nobody can touch you. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dude.
The sheer fucking brass balls of wearing that to school is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that. Like, I mean, if you think about it, like, showing up to school in like a superhero costume or showing up to school in some sort of armor that you bought or that you made that's crappy is like, you're going to get beaten. You know what I mean? But it's like to show up in like a full-on metal armor suit with a full-on metal Excalibur that you made is like, everybody should bow to you, man. End of story.
Yep.
Yeah. The dude made a suit of armor out of aluminum flashing when he was a kid and went to school.
That blows my mind.
Because he loved this movie so much. So there you go.
Not to mention that this would have been way before cosplaying was a thing. Like, this is just
way before that.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so like pre-proto cosplay. Yes.
Yeah.
Back when being a nerd usually got you beat up. So
yeah, that's like the big bang of cosplay, dude.
That really kind of is, man.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, that's amazing. Fucking fair dues to Adam Savage, man. That's a great way to sign this one off.
There you go. We got to get that guy in this show.
That'd be sick.
Anyway, Seego Rhythm, what are we doing next week?
Next week we're doing Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, whoa, Edge of Tomorrow. Good. That's a good Tom Cruise movie. And Emily Blunt.
Speaking of people that don't age.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's Excaliburific episode, folks. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Later.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode. We still have to talk about the show notes and where you can find them, folks. You can find them on your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/114. If you'd like to support the show, there's a number of great ways to do it, folks. You can rate us and review us on Apple's iTunes thing or wherever else you might get a podcast. You can also rate us and review us. Wait, no, I already just said that. You can also write a review. I'm dead.
Fucking dead.
Don't care. I'm going to keep going. You can also write a review. There you go. Write a review
of this
iTunes
outro.
Or whatever, because, reviews are great. They help people decide if they want to listen to our show. This is like the worst pitch I've ever done. You can also tell a friend to check out the show, folks. Friends love shows, and everybody loves Friends. So tell your friends to check out the show.
Friends was a pretty good show back in the day.
I've derailed like Tommy Boy, dude. This is terrible. you can,
If you like the professionalism of this outro, you can give us money on Patreon.
oh my God, yes, Patreon. How could I forget that? You can support us on Patreon, folks. We're on the Patreon website, patreon.com/ABD podcast. So please support us on Patreon. And as always, last but not least, you can, don't forget to follow us on social media.
Fucking imploding.
We use this handle at EBD Podcast on all social media channels. Please come and join in on the fun. Anyway, hope you guys liked this episode of Excalibur. Excaliricious. I hope you like this outro even more. Please join us next week as we talk about Edge of Tomorrow. Ooh. And that's it. So long for now, folks.
One for C-Lab, two for Heego, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.